Hi, it's Raquel. Welcome back to Recovery to Wellness. This is where survivors radiate badassery. It is currently September 21st, 2024, and I just want to film a very, very short book review because there's another book review that I have to do that I have been avoiding exponentially for the last couple of weeks that I really just have to, eat it, consume it, sit with it, and then get it done. But this one is a short book review, video book review, and I'm planning to return it to the library right after and not have to think about the book again for as long as I live. So the book we are reviewing is this guy, and it is Whole Beauty, Meditation, and Mindfulness. Let me bring it up. So, Whole Beauty, Meditation, and Mindfulness, Rituals and Exercises for Everyday Self-Care by Shiva Rose, and it's 2019. Technically it says 2018 as well, but I think it is. I did Google it and found it on Amazon. It says 2019, so 2018, 2019, we'll just go with 2019. Anywho, it is a 95-page book, so I posted the book review portion of it on my blog on recoverytowellness.wordpress.com, same username as here. And I also posted the Recovery Reads report, which was very small compared to the review itself. However, this book is like nonfiction. It's a lot more pseudoscience than I thought it would be, which I didn't get into in the book review itself, but I do want to mention in the video book review. What attracted me to this book was that it definitely is short, so it seemed like easy to digest. It has lots of different illustrations, there's pictures, so it just seemed like, things like that. It seemed pretty easy to read. I was interested in the mindfulness components, some of the meditation components. I would say I called it in the Recovery Reads report 2% mindfulness, 98% pseudoscience, because it only had 2 little meditations in it, and it didn't have a lot of actual mindfulness kind of stuff, other than maybe with the tea ceremony and some of the nature, forest bathing, that kind of thing. But so I expected that kind of going into the book. I was like, cool, mindfulness, stuff like that, and all of that. But it was a lot less of that and more of this kind of a pseudoscience in the sense of alternative medicine, holistic approaches, and sage and essential oils and these kinds of things. There was a quote that I mentioned in it that I didn't like very much, of how it was saying that modern medicine, Western medicine, is about curing issues, which I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think modern medicine in the Western society treats illnesses and such, because I don't think a lot of things have cures, and I think that pursuit of a cure can be more sort of maybe debilitating or damaging or stigmatizing. For instance, with mental health, there's not a cure for mental health. However, don't really need a cure either, because management and maintenance can go a long way and go a lot further in a sense. And also I think things with scoliosis and stuff like that too, there's not really a cure for that, but you can manage it and figure it out kind of thing. So I think modern medicine is more so of treating things rather than fully curing things. A lot of things don't have cures, and we can strive to find one, but treating rather than curing. Other thoughts on this book. It actually has a reference to Goop, the Gwyneth Paltrow website, so that was really funny. I was like, okay, there we go. And it also mentions the yoni egg thing too, and I was like, no. And also it's a very focused on women, femininity, and health for women kind of thing, which I didn't think it would be going into this book. I think that kind of limits the audience a little bit too. There are some interesting things, with the sage kind of burning and with self-massage. That's interesting. So it wasn't all bad. I recommend it a 1 out of 5. Unless you're into gems and astrology and crystals and all of that. I felt the writing, especially with I don't know if it was just with the Native American scripts and stuff, but I found some of the writing was kind of 3rd grade level writing in a sense. It wasn't very good in that way, but And any last thoughts I have, herbs and like flowers and stuff can maybe go, but it's also a little bit like, I felt it was a little bit like voodoo magic and stuff too. I will say, most of the discussion questions I had for this book involved like, so how much do you believe of pseudoscience? Are you spiritual or religious? Do you believe in heaven and hell and the afterlife? And why do you think pseudoscience stuff is so popular? I don't know if it's just recently popular or if it's been popular for like since the dawn of time in a sense. I found this book, the big thing I had with this book as well was like, I have been thinking like this year, I was like, oh, I think I'm finally at a place where I can like read about kind of like religious storytelling, or like, I did read one that was a fiction novel, but like kind of like religious or like spirituality themes and stuff, or like read about other people's experience with that. But then reading this book, I realized, no, I'm not. No. I was very judgmental in this book, and like very like very, I don't know, like I grew up in a family that was Christian, but as a teenager I was atheist, and then I think somewhere now I'm still between atheist and agnostic. I believe in an afterlife, but I don't believe in heaven and hell, and I don't believe in angels or demons, and I don't like think about it a lot either, so I don't know enough about all the different facets and such, but I think of like a higher power of like capital U for universe in a sense, but and I think I'd be interested in mythology stuff, but like actual religion, actual spirituality is like not one of my interests yet. It does have some interesting cultural differences though, like it does mention like worldwide perspectives of different like practices of medicine, or you know, sort of the whole body, in the sense the whole body of the human connection and soul and spirituality of that. So that is interesting, but overall, not a book that I would read, not a book that I want to read again, and like it didn't change my life and didn't change my perspective very much, other than the fact that apparently I can't read that kind of stuff, not yet at least. But that was the book. Yeah, that's all I got. So your thoughts? What are your thoughts on pseudoscience? And you know, I think I would want to read some like medicine based stuff, like books and stuff. I think that'd be interesting. There was a book I took out years ago that was about like Google and Facebook and a couple other social media sites and like how that works and stuff, and I should probably check that out again. That'd be cool. I never read it, so anywho, what do you think? What do you think about some of these thoughts, these discussion questions? And let me know in the comments. And if you have a book that you're currently reading, let me know. I just started a new book called The Here and Now Habit, and I also have the Winter Solstice review to get my shit together and just review it. So that'll be interesting, and then I'll film the review for that, and then return this book today, and then return that one hopefully before the middle of next week. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and thanks for listening, and thanks for being here, and as always, stay safe, much love and light to you. I will see you very soon, and thanks, bye!
Guiding like a lighthouse to I will leave the light on.